Well, I should
Hara,
look at the
hara.
See,
we got the
a
big
good one.
sister coming in.
Yeah, that was a very good Nissan.
Oni-chan.
Y'all don't deserve this. I might have to cut this and put it in a bonus episode.
Dude, I can imagine, dude. All of the weebs, watching their favorite hentais, and then they see the cast, and then it's Will. All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Anime Mondays. I am your host, as always, Jay, joined by my lovely and handsome co-hosts here. To my right,
Kenny V, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Great to be here again. And to my right,
And to his right, which is where exactly I am, and I am Robert, also known as Cars. I will assist you through this lovely session, which is, I believe, session 4. We're getting quite far.
all right, continuity's sake, I'm going to call it session 4.
There it
Yes,
is,
sir.
session 4. And session 4 is special because we have our first guest. And over here we have Will. Would you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Will. Don't know what else to say. I'm a voice actor for about 3 years.
A little closer, yeah.
Let's do that. How about that? Does that work?
That's
Yes,
great.
sir.
yeah, looking good. Looking
Okay.
Just imagine speaking into a penis.
Well, if you put it that
occasionally
way.
that's up. Wow, he speaks loudly.
Wait.
Been a voice actor for about 3 years. Enjoyed it immensely. Just happy to be a part of the community, and it's been really great. Happy to be
Yeah.
here.
This is a very, very special episode. We get to see the inner workings of everything that goes behind the scenes and his opinion on things. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun because this episode is literally going to be us grilling Will about exactly what happens in the back end of things.
Which is fun because the last couple episodes, the last couple sessions, we did talk about some of the voice actors. So this is a really cool continuity of how from another perspective.
Yeah. So, Will, can you give us a little bit of a background? How did you initially get into anime?
So one thing before that, if you're gonna grill me, don't grill me too hard, or else I'll get salty.
That's okay. I mean, I can
We have
slap
better
some cheese
season.
on
I
you.
like salt.
Oh, jeez. That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
Put you in between
Throw
two
some
pieces of
pepper on
Wonder
there.
Bread.
let's go.
Some
Ooh,
butter.
salty snack.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Maybe some soup.
So this is our salty snack, Will.
Will
But-
sandwich. I like it.
Will is sandwich, Will sandwich. What the fuck? Anyway,
Getting back to what you were asking.
Oh yes. If you could just give us and the audience a little bit of a background, like what got you into anime in the first place?
I mean, as a kid, you watch what's on certain stations, and it's kind of, you see it after school, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you don't really realize that it is anime, so you get older. I mean, for
Mhm.
some, it could be different.
Yeah.
For me, I was with a friend, and he introduced me kind of to it, like more in depth, and he's like, oh, I like this. I looked at it for a little bit. I was like, okay, it's cool. And I really started getting into it about 2016, just really deep diving into it, and just the artwork, the art style, the voice actors, just how things were done. Wanted to learn more about the production. And 2019, if you want a real good origin story,
Ooh, you like origin
story.
Those are the
Yeah,
best,
that's-
man.
yeah, that's what
is
it
this a villain
So-
origin story or a hero origin story?
it's a
To be
normal.
decided, man.
It's a normal person
decide.
origin story. You
Normal
can decide for
origin.
yourself.
Okay, Saitama.
The NPC origin story.
I love it. You know,
And-
Nah,
NPC
man, he's the main
becomes the hero
character
of the
today.
next.
Damn it.
yeah.
So I had gotten interested in voiceover, and I just I'd kind of always known, there are people making those characters talk. People are giving those inanimate objects a voice. And I said to myself, that looks really cool. And I had talked to some people online, some voice actors over social media and other things, and the typical question everyone asks, how do I get into voiceover?
Mhm.
Everyone asks that question, and it's not a bad question. It's just that we're always going to give you the same answer. Google. take acting classes, theater, books. There are tons of books out there about just getting into voiceover. I asked a kind of a close friend about it, and she kind of gave me the same answer. Google. You can also write Funimation and let them know your talents and things like that. I did that, and I got a call from a number I didn't recognize.
Uh-oh.
And I kind of was, it's a one-off number, whatever. I decided, it could be something special. Picked it up, and voice came over the phone, and I'm not gonna disclose what the conversation was, but essentially it was, "Can you get to a recording studio?" And I said, "Yeah, I know some friends that have one." Went down to the recording studio, brought my iPad with me, brought my phone with me, told the guy that owned the studio, whatever you want, I'll pay you for it. "No, dude, it's okay. Just hop in there, do what you gotta do." Said, okay, hopped in there, got online, and next thing I know, I'm auditioning.
Wow, so the guy called you up and he literally asked for a sample on that on the spot.
Well, I had researched it and I had sent in like a message about it.
Okay.
And
I got
so
you.
it's kind of like quick tryout. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Jump in the
Wait,
fire.
so you'd sent him a sample, like a resume basically, and then he calls you up and say, "Hey, I need you to try out for this right now."
No,
Essentially,
I
mean,
sent more of like an email type.
I sent an email.
and then he wanted that sample.
Plus, I
Okay.
also had friends that were in the business that kind of helped speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
all.
so
Networking's great.
And so I went in and I got online, and was one of my favorite voice actors showed up. I'm not gonna name drop. It's because
Dude, you can totally
come on.
name drop.
We're fans of name dropping.
Yeah, we're
I
fans of
drop
name
names
dropping,
whenever
yeah.
I can.
his name is Austin Tindall. He showed up. He goes, "All right, so what do you got for me?" And I'm sitting there just flabbergasted. Oh, okay. So you just want me to go?
He said shoot.
And I knew he loved Shakespeare.
Ooh, that's good.
So I whipped out Romeo and Juliet. I whipped out King Lear. I whipped out a couple sonnets. I whipped out just pretty much everything I knew from Shakespeare. I did multiple parts. And Romeo and Juliet was the hardest. But I was in there for about 3 hours. And just going. I took some breaks and came back, and I hear the words, "All right, stop." And I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "I don't know if we can put you in anything right away, but there are some things coming up we want you to audition for." And I said, "That's okay. I'm okay with that." And then the question was asked that I immediately freaked out about. "What are your rates?"
Oh. And at that point,
Here we
you really hadn't had anything established. It was like your first.
This is my first foray into
offer.
everything.
Yeah.
I would.
This was like throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah.
And, just
seeing what would
happen.
stick. Yeah.
And it was interesting, as you said before, that you prepared for a lot of things. You knew what he was interested in,
Yeah.
so you played into that. You already did the research of how to get there, but you weren't prepared for how much should you charge for
All right, but
it.
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I really want to point out that I find it's actually really cool. Now, when you were talking about people asking how to get into the industry,
Mhm.
well, what impressed me about Will's story right there is that he was actually prepared, right? He
Yeah,
knew
that was
like,
very-
somebody came in and he knew this guy because obviously you were familiar with the work.
Yeah, he does his
You
research.
were you were familiar with the things that he liked, and you were able to pull out something from your repertoire that would have like vibed with him really
Yeah.
well, which is the Shakespeare.
It definitely resonates and increases the impact. So it's like,
Mhm.
here's my ability. Now here's my ability to hone it on you.
Yeah.
And I think that carries over to not just voice acting, but basically anything. You do your
Anything,
research
yeah.
in front of it, you're going to have a lot more opportunities.
Yeah.
But it is scary when you get that opportunity. You're like, wait, what do I do now? I didn't think that was going to work.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you, man. Because like when I started coaching, I didn't know what to charge people.
Same thing with my photography.
Yeah,
Once people
right?
were like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
what's your rates? I was like,
Like what's the
Oh.
value of my work? What's the
Yeah.
value of my talent?
when you
What's
try
the
to
value of my service?
quantify
Right?
something like that.
Yeah,
Because
when you
it's not like
commodify
here's a physical object that has a specified cost because it costs
Mm-hmm.
this much to produce. What did it cost for you to create a skill?
Yeah.
You can't, it's hard to quantify.
I do it
To
for
quantify,
love.
yeah. to
Quantify.
quantify. That's
Thank
correct.
you.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, I kept saying quantize.
Okay.
Words are hard.
He wants to fantasize quantities.
Ooh, I like that. Let's go with that. I'm fantasizing.
Fantasized.
Fantaquise?
Well,
Quantize.
Quantize. Dope.
But just kind of to finish up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't really know. I didn't have a number in mind. I immediately hopped on a couple social media sites. I messaged the friend that had told me about it. I said, I don't know what to do. They just asked me about the pay. I don't know. And she gave me a ballpark number. The ballpark number was way too high than what I was thinking. Do you want to know what the number I was thinking was?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking $30 an hour.
Really?
You're
Wait
being
for
generous.
it. Wait for it.
All right. And then they were expecting.
I'm ready.
She told me 60.
Yeah.
And I
Nope.
said, okay, all right. Yeah, sure. I kind of had that little bit of doubt. Am I really worth that?
Yeah. That's definitely,
And-
as a lot of artists, I'm sure, share that sentiment too. Like, people are like, oh, you should charge more. You should charge this. I was
Yep.
expecting to pay this for your work. And the person's just like, and I've come across this too, like, that's a lot. Can I really justify that?
I think that says a lot about the person too, because they're humble enough to realize that, well, I do this because I like to do it,
Yeah.
but who am I to put a price on it that I'm gonna make somebody pay? Because I've come across a lot of, for example, I have somebody working on the banner for the show, and in the beginning I was very adamant about paying her for her work, and she was like, no, I'm just gonna do it for free. But I'm like, no, I like and enjoy your work. I want to pay you for your time. And I think a lot of you guys, especially both of you, because you're artists, right? That for the most part, artists have this tendency to think that their work really isn't worth
as special.
the
You're
money
your
that
own
people want
worst
to pay
critic.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're your own worst critic, because every time I see her artwork, I tell her, dude, that's really dope. I really enjoy your work. This is why I want to outsource this to you. But she's like, nah, I'm trash. I'm like, bro, I want to pay you. What do you
Relatable content.
I
Yeah.
saw it and immediately like, I'll pay for
Yeah.
some stuff. Shit.
So I can understand where you're coming from there. So yeah, please go on.
So, kind of building off that, what Rob said, you are your own worst critic. People don't want, and especially voice actors, a lot of people hate how they sound on the mic when they hear themselves back. I personally don't like how I sound because I have a really high pitched voice. I've been mistaken for female multiple times on the phone, even in person. If someone hears me in conversation is far away, I had someone come up to me and say, "Oh, that was a really who's that person? She sounds really pretty." I turn around, yeah, that was me. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay.
Well, so correct me if I'm wrong. I think, wouldn't that in some sense be kind of a boon for you as an artist? Because me and Kenny were talking about this earlier, that a lot of the voice actors in the industry, they can play
Multiple
both
things.
male
They
and
got
female
range,
roles,
yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
can play like the broad spectrum of things, right? They could play a young boy or older female, an older male, a younger female. So like, has that actually helped you out, get you more roles?
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's helped me out immensely. I'm just saying I personally don't like how my voice sounds. Like, it's helped me
I
out
get that. I get
It-
that.
Yeah.
because it's like someone drawing for the first time. Someone may think it's amazing, and you just look at it and go, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You know?
like I've gone through the recordings of the show and everything. They tell me all the time, like, "Oh, you got a great R&B voice, man."
Oh, dude, his.
You-
I mean, the
I'm just
audience
like,
right now, I'm sure y'all are like, bro, I could listen to Kenny B all day.
Nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. But anyway,
Listen, when I spend like the hours in post production listening to all this, you're definitely the more preferred voice of the group.
see that's good to hear, but that's not the way I feel about it. So I understand where you're coming from. I definitely understand, 100%.
So if I may, Kenny, you have a good R&B voice. You also have a good radio voice.
That's
I've heard
exactly
that
what we
too.
talk
You are-
about
you
all the
are
time, man.
deep.
Do you want to do the newscaster impression again, real quick?
Reporting live from Weeb the People podcast, Kenny B.
It is deep, it is clear, it is powerful, and it
Yeah.
resonates with people. Because
Yep.
if people write in and say, "Oh, I love how he sounds," you might want to look into that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot. I've actually
You might
wanted
have to get into
look
some voiceover, yeah.
I've actually wanted to. That's why this is like really important for me, because
Dope.
I've wanted to look into getting into voice acting and stuff. You know?
Start with Google.
So
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been, and just kind of going through what I've done and what I've been able to do. It's just been one of the most fun things, because I'll come home from work exhausted, my day job, and then I'll record from like 7 to 2 in the morning, or like 3 in the morning.
It's very
sometimes
relaxing
4 in the
activity
morning. Oh
for you.
yeah,
It's like your downtime.
yeah. Because I will take my laptop, take my microphone, clear out space in my closet, and sit in there and just go. And yeah, it's late at night, and people are asleep, but it's just my little.
It gives you
Yourself.
peace,
Safe
right? Yeah, it
room,
gives you peace.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I'm screaming at something, if I'm like doing like ah, that wasn't very good, but you get my drift. Or
Don't
if
be afraid
I'm,
to scream in the mics. We're okay with it.
or if I'm having just a straight up conversation, I'll have my headphones on and I'll just hear the audio clip. Or sometimes I won't have my headphones on. I'll just hear the audio clip, and the direction will be talk to someone like you're talking to your best friend.
Mhm.
And some of that direction is very hard to do. The thing that a lot of voice actors say is doing impressions is easy. Your normal speaking voice, when someone says replicate your normal speaking voice, you immediately freak out and go, what does my normal speaking voice sound like?
Yeah, I actually have this a lot in Dungeons and Dragons when I'm doing voices, because I found if you rely too much on accents, it's hard to keep consistency or variability in that. So you have to rely on your own voice. So it's always like, do I speak more in my nose? Do I speak more in my chest? Do I change my pace to tone out?
Mhm.
So it's like a lot of things are just using your own voice to create a new voice. And I found that to be way more challenging than going, hello, bloke, how y'all doing? It's way harder to just not to be Arnold. It's harder than being Arnold.
Well, so what I want to know, Will, if you don't mind elaborating a little bit, what made you gravitate towards the voice acting avenue of anime, aside from all of the other avenues that exist in the background? Like, what drew you into it specifically?
Can I ask another one? Have you done anything else other than anime, like video games or?
Kenny, can you answer my question first, please?
Oh, I was just curious real quick.
He's curious too.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so my question was, if you don't mind elaborating, I'm really curious to know what made you gravitate towards the voice acting avenue of anime as opposed to all of the other things that happen in the background, as opposed to like directing, storyboarding, actually creating your own work. Like, what made you gravitate towards voice acting versus all of the other aspects of anime?
Well, I think just kind of going back on what I said originally was, you see a character and you see their movements and then you hear their voice. And you just see that someone had to give that character, that object, that thing a voice. And for example, you hear something from Dragon Ball Z, and you hear Piccolo, really deep voice, really
He's got that
imposing.
bass.
But then you hear Goku, really high pitched, really happy, really bubbly. Someone had to give that drawing, that animated drawing, a voice.
Bring it to life.
Bring it to life. And I have had most people tell me, you have a great voice for radio. You have a very calming voice. I've never heard someone over the phone talk as calmly and calm someone down as quickly as you have.
Yeah, you do have a really comfortable pace, just like your natural
You
speaker.
do.
Very
Yeah,
clear
you're a very good
as well.
speaker.
And so I just, I said to myself, I want to do this. I want to see how it works. And I had looked into other avenues, directing, producing, audio engineering. Audio engineering I actually wanted to go to college for because of the voiceover. Because I saw people. I had a conversation with an audio engineer that is currently at Funimation, and he kind of let me in on some secrets, gave me a couple websites to visit, showed me some books. Yeah, audio engineering's great. It's really fun. You essentially get to kind of steer where the show goes, steer how the pitch is heard. You can mess with people's voices. If they need to be really nasally, you can mess with it. If they need to be, because everyone can talk like this, but
Yeah, that's not annoying at all. Keep doing that.
all right.
Hey guys, we're gonna talk like this for the rest of the fucking episode. You join us.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see?
Snidely whiplash over here.
Falls over here like, these guys are fucking amateurs, man.
That's not
Yeah.
nasal cavity parts.
Yen yen. But and so I looked into it, and it's really cool because you're literally in a recording studio making sure the product is its best. And that just seemed amazing to me. But then I said, and this was while I was recording, I asked someone, I said, hey, can I jump out and help maybe do some engineering, maybe direct? I don't know. I'm willing to do other things. And one of the directors had to go on a break to do something. Yeah, go ahead. It's really simple. You'll have an iPad in front of you. I said, okay, here we go. Jumped out. Other actor got in the booth. I'm looking at the iPad, looking at everything they need to do. There were some things like scream, pained grunt, fight, stuff like that. And all I would do is, all right, give me your best, like you just got punched, like an aggravated scream. And they would.
That hurt.
That is exactly what it sounded like.
I've only been punched like once in my life.
That's
I
for
don't
an
know.
aggravated scream.
That was aggravated, or maybe this is more aggravated. Ah! I don't know what the fuck that was.
It's like Wile
This is
It's
why
if Wile E. Coyote had a voice falling off a cliff. But
This is why I'm not a voice actor.
the thing,
Pretty good.
and as a director, you have a vision of what you want. But the thing is, since it's anime, it was already created.
Mhm.
So you go off what the Japanese, the J, we call it, you go off what they have. And you have to match that. And it's very hard to match that because, say someone's talking, you have to watch their lips move.
Yeah.
You have to fit every single thing they have on that script in that scene.
Don't fix it in post, get it right there in the studio.
And yeah, essentially you can't because it is going.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you won't fix it in post. You'll have to do it over.
Yeah, especially with simuldubs these days, because nowadays, I mean, you saw Spy X Family has the dubs out already, and it's only like 2 episodes behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
So-
simuldub. Oh,
Yeah.
I
That's
could.
impressive.
Wow, yeah.
So to think about the concept of them all going into the studio, prepping that, reading the scripts, doing this process that Will's talking about, and getting them episodes out
Yeah.
pretty much just simultaneously it sounds painful.
And there are some instances where voice actors will leave little bits in there, or they'll have if they mess up on something and the director and the producer and the audio engineer want to keep it in there, they'll keep it in there for comedic effect.
Mhm.
Like, for example, there was a line that a voice actress gave, and it was essentially something like, "Oh, look at the video of this cat. Isn't it a meowsing?"
Oh,
Let me tell you, they have kept those lines in wherever she records. She has to say that for a line in a show if she's in it.
Every time.
Every time.
It's become her signature.
It's become her
Yes.
signature.
you have cat to be kidding me right now.
I don't like that one.
That's because it's too cheesy.
I'm
The way
sorry.
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
it,
Can
it's
I?
just wrong.
I'm sorry. Can I get my burger with no cheese?
No cheese, please.
Listen, I love cheese. Okay, I am a cheesy boy.
We have cheese for
It's
that.
okay, Rob. It's okay, Rob. It's only
I
acceptable
didn't say
within
it
this
wasn't
circle
okay.
of friends.
It's acceptable.
Isn't
wherever I go,
it a
'cause
square
that's
of friends?
Sorry?
Isn't it a square of friends?
I feel like this is becoming more of a rhombus.
We can make several shapes.
We talked about this last.
We didn't get any angry comments from the mathematicians. Or from the geometricians.
Oh yeah, I
they're
didn't see any comments from
Yeah,
the
they're gonna
mathematicians.
bang
They didn't hit us.
more.
Mathematicians, are you not watching?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Okay. Well, actually, Kenny, you had a question. I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah, that's
monopolize
right.
the interview.
Yeah. So, due to voice acting, have you gotten into anything else, such as like video games, stuff like that?
And TV, movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I have done a couple video games that, because of NDAs and contractual obligations, I cannot talk about.
Non-disclosure
Oh,
agreements
Bro,
get you, bro.
NDAs suck, man. You
NDAs
guys suck.
Well, it's not a group of people. It's a piece of paper or an electronic document.
It's a piece of paper saying if I break it, I get fired.
You
Yeah.
suck, NDA.
You, the personification of an NDA, suck.
I can give you a little hint, though.
We like hints.
Ooh, spicy.
Scrolls.
Whoa. okay.
There's like 5 of those.
Yes. Like the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Oh, so it's some Neon Genesis shit.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I auditioned for a Kia commercial,
Oh.
and that was cool. Like, of course, I didn't get it, but it was really cool to just go in, auditioned for it. They said, hey, we need not a deep voice, because most car commercials will have deep voice people, and they all knew blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
They needed someone with
narrator.
more of like a natural, like higher
a comfortable
pitch.
voice. Yeah.
And I auditioned. Took me a couple times, which was fine. I heard back that I didn't get it, and that was okay.
That's
You
great.
know?
That's a great mindset. To
But-
do it. Go for it.
Got paid for it, and I enjoyed my timing, and I was honing my craft while I was
Yeah.
doing it. So
That's a very healthy mindset. It's
Yeah.
really cool to hear.
Yeah, because you don't think of the rejection as a rejection.
Yeah.
You think of it as an opportunity
It's
to
another
practice
yeah,
your skill
exactly.
set.
Yeah.
That's
Super
the
cool.
thing. That's the thing with a lot of like younger actors. They don't realize that. Oh, I got rejected. I'm just gonna quit. No, you think of that as you are building yourself. You are honing your craft. You are doing the best you can. There is always a way you can be better.
Figure out what
Yeah.
you're good at.
Agreed.
That's a concept that bleeds into every
Everything,
aspect of
yeah.
life. I think it's
You
it's
can
volume,
always be
it's about
better.
repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Your
there's
mindset
a
and just always improving.
Sorry.
Oh, you're great. Go for it.
there's a quote that I heard that actually sticks with me a lot. You could be the juiciest, most ripe peach in the bunch, but some people just don't want peaches.
That's true.
You know, like it. And
Some people want plums.
I'm a big fan of peaches.
I'm a big fan of peaches, but I also like the dinosaur egg plums. So fucking good. So fucking good.
Peach cobbler?
No, and that's again, it's one of those things that's it's a concept that'll really help you get through life because, for example, like it's a good thing to guide you, right?
Mhm.
You could be the best of the best,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna be able to please everybody.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got different preferences. I see it a lot in the photography community where people are like, oh man, I'm not getting clients. And it's like, well, yeah, you have this particular style. Not everybody likes that style. So even if you are legitimately a fantastic photographer, oh, thank you. I got like a splinter or something. But some people will just be like, no, I like this person's style instead. So there's a lot of subjective elements
Yeah.
to art. You just have to be accepting that, hey, not everybody's going to dig what I do. That doesn't take away from what I've got.
I feel like
Precisely.
as long as you like it, then
Yeah.
as long as you mess with
Yeah.
your stuff the most and
Yeah,
you feel
want that.
comfortable
Super
with your
important.
stuff,
Yeah.
that's the most important.
Very
Yeah.
important. 'Cause if you don't, even if you do force yourself to do other people's, you're going to burn out a lot faster.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
forcing yourself down a path that you're not really vibing.
And another thing that I've learned is like they're not rejecting you as a person. They are just rejecting, oh, they're not what I wanted. I will find someone else.
Yeah.
They're not mad at you. They don't hate you. They just said, oh, thank you for your time. And you just go on. It's not like they're sitting there behind the booth window going, oh, I hate this person. No. They just want a different style, a different tone, a different pitch. And if someone
Yes.
else has that, they're going to pick that.
Yeah.
So-
it's not a personal issue with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for auditioning, you always have to just get back up, keep your head up, and just go. You can't sit there and take every audition if they say no, going, I'm the worst actor ever. I'm never going to get work, because that's going to become your mindset, and you're
Yeah.
just going to be miserable.
Yeah, you're gonna have a defeatist mindset. Yep.
Yeah. And so, I
And
mean,
it's just gonna you're gonna have a very cynical outlook on
oh,
life.
immensely, yeah. Like,
I am
Go ahead.
Hachiman, so I mean,
Kids, have confidence in yourself
yes.
and your voice.
Even if you have to lie at first about that confidence, eventually it will become true confidence. That's what I did. I faked my confidence until it became genuine confidence.
Yeah.
Because it's contagious. You start to realize, like, wait a minute, maybe I really don't suck. Maybe I'm not just telling myself that. And then it becomes easier and easier to believe in
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I really like that mindset, Will, because for the longest time, and anybody who always asks me, because I consider myself a very disgustingly optimistic person, but not in a naive sense. And the reason why I've been able to go through life with that kind of mindset, I don't exactly know when I developed it, but I remember thinking one day to myself that nobody's opinion of myself is worth. Nobody's opinion of Jay is worth more than the opinion that I have of myself. And I carried myself through life in that manner, so that anything that anybody ever said to me that could have been interpreted as maybe an insult, maybe they're trying to bag on me, take pot shots, I knew exactly what I was capable of, and I was confident enough in my abilities in being able to perform. So anything else that anybody ever said to me, sure, it may have irritated me for a brief moment,
Mhm.
but then I forgot about it as soon as
You
like
You understood your value.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
That actually brings up a question for me. What was like a triumphant moment for you in the studio where you found that confidence? Like, yeah, this is a great
Yeah.
time.
Because
Triumphant
like in the
moment,
beginning,
yeah.
you didn't know how to what monetized value you would have to your talent. Like at what point did you realize, oh, this is the value that I can bring to the table, and so I can attach this kind of like dollar value to it, right?
So they have these. There's this set of I don't know what you'd call. You have length where if you have to do a noise or a sound or a scream, you have to hold it for a certain period. The Dragon Ball Z actors, like Sean Schimmel, Chris Sabat, all them,
When they're powering up,
they
that's a
had
very good example.
what were called Dragon Ball screams. And they could hold those for 10, 12, 15 seconds. That is a long time
That's-
when
my
you're
throat
going
hurts
1,
thinking.
Yeah,
2,
scream.
3. And they wanted me to do, they called it a Dragon Ball scream. And I was in the booth and I had just got done with the session. And they're like, can you know, because they hold the screams for the end because they don't want to mix it in with the regular talking because your voice is going to be shot.
Mhm.
And they said, can you jump in? Can you jump back in? Go get some water. Can you jump back and give us one of the Dragon Ball screams? We need you for a pained scream like you just got stabbed. And I said, yeah, okay. Got some water. And I was just, I'm not going to do full blast, but that. And that hurt. So imagine that. That was about what, 2 seconds maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple seconds.
Imagine doing that for 10.
Yeah. How could you can maintain it?
Like
That's-
1, 2, 3. I did the most I ever did was I think 9 seconds.
I've never considered that. I
I've
can
never
see
done
how that could become extremely taxing, which is why they put it at the end. They asked you to do it at the end.
It's like
Yeah.
sitting in timeout. You count on your hands how long you have to sit there. If someone says 15 minutes, that's no way. I got 9 seconds. I passed out.
Whoa.
My throat hurt. I found out my vocal cords had slapped together and my throat started bleeding.
Wow.
I get up and I got back on the mic. I said, you have about 3 more tries before I'm done. I said, get out, go get some water, take a rest. I said, well, do you want me to finish the session? Go take a break. I went into the kitchen area, was kind of getting water, cleaning myself up, and I was just kind of gargling to like soothe like my throat, my vocal cords, because it felt like someone had like punched me. It hurt. And I looked down and I said, oh, there is blood in the sink. That is not good.
Whoa.
Conspicuous whistle.
Yikes. Okay.
And I took a break. I went back to my hotel room and I told them, hey, I'm leaving for the day. It was later at night. Said, I'm leaving for the day. I'm done. They're like, oh, by all means, go ahead, do what you got to do. Went to an ENT, and they said what happened was I have to demonstrate. So your vocal cords, when you talk, they go like this.
Vibrate and fold, yeah.
Mine went
Ooh.
like,
So severe like impact trauma basically. Yeah. That
and
makes sense.
so they looked at it. All they gave me were just some meds, and they were just like, take these, don't go crazy. Just vocal rest for I think a week. And that was the most miserable time because I couldn't talk. I just sat in my hotel room. I would sometimes go to the studio and just sit there and just drink water. And it was miserable. So don't overdo yourself.
Yeah.
You said you were like out of commission for a while.
And so I really wasn't able to. So yeah, I was out of commission. I couldn't really do anything. So I just sat there. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I did try to hop back in, and one of the producers was like, "Are you sure you should?" I'm just like, I just want to try it, see how I do. It wasn't any screaming roles. It was just like a speaking role, and I got through about 3 lines, and I said, "Yeah, no, I'm no." And I got better. And I just remembered they did say gargle with salt water to kind of take all the like crap off your vocal cords, take it off the throat, take pressure off the throat. And so yeah, gargling with salt water for about a week was not fun. And I would have to do it morning, noon, and night.
Wow.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, this is one of the things I like to hear is because it's not always sunshine and rainbows, right?
It's not.
Behind the scenes, it's not that easy to be a voice actor. Sometimes it's physically painful.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you're able to share something like that from the other side of the perspective where it's not just glorified the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so earlier we were talking about how nowadays you don't really have to wait for a lot of at the very least from what I've noticed, a lot of the top series,
Simulcasts.
they're getting simulcast, right? So can you explain to us how difficult that is, because you don't have a lag time in between being able to watch the series and then having to act out those characters on your own. Because like you mentioned earlier, right? In a movie, if you're an actor, you have the director kind of giving you some direction.
Yeah.
But with something like anime,
You're just watching the screen like, oh, here's how their mouth is moving.
Yeah,
Here's like you were saying.
yeah, and it's like you have to listen to the voice actor who's speaking in Japanese. You don't know like what emotion are they trying to portray, right?
Yeah, and then you have the localization to take into account, like, oh, that won't translate well into English.
Precisely.
Fits their mouth movements that goes into
So
English.
as somebody who's an English voice actor, how do you adapt to situations like that, where it's like you have to be able to basically recreate the character like that with a very short lag
with
time?
limited context.
Yes.
That's a really good question. Is there a lot of like improvisation?
A lot of the times there can be, but we won't put it in the show because the Japanese really like things to be just about the same.
As they wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can fit things in there like laughs or like, or stuff like that.
Mhm.
But normally they want to stick to it's essentially like making a copy of something. You don't want, like, you have a piece of paper with writing on it, you make a copy of it. You don't want to sit there and change the writing to fit something else.
Yes.
You want almost an exact copy, and it's never going to be the same because a copy, there's going to be faded words and things like that. But you essentially want to keep it as close to the J as you possibly can.
Stick to the script.
Essentially, yeah. And with mouth movement, some of that stuff is very, very hard because, like screams, for example, you have to get it exactly right, put the right amount of emotion into it, and just watch it. And before the mouth closes, you have to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting because I saw a clip of the voice actor for All Might, the Japanese voice actor. And he was doing it they had like the TV up with like the scene, and he was reenacting it, and he was watching like intently at the screen. Whoops. Not very intently. And he's like doing like these movements and motions, but he's like locked onto the character. So I think he was like watching to like time it and fit it, and then he's like the screen was like locked on, he just locks up the screen.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Is that something that you do as well, where you'll watch the scene play out as the characters are speaking? So it's like, in a sense, it's giving you kind of, at the very least, some direction, right?
Yeah, we always watch the scenes when they play out because they're not gonna verbalize. I mean, they can verbalize it, but it's a lot easier. What's that old adage? Like, if you're learning, it's easier to watch how it's done than have someone explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we'll watch our scenes, and it's a lot harder if it's in a Walla session, which means there's a bunch of different actors, and you have to create like a crowd noise, or you have to like collectively gasp at something that's going on and stuff like that. And we can get into the science of gasping in a minute.
Whoa, look at
It hurt my
the
throat.
science of gasping.
Yeah.
So we watch stuff, and we'll watch it first, and we'll hear the Japanese, and then we'll have it play again, and we'll see if we can match it. And then everyone's gonna take more than one take. Like, there are people that can get it in one take, and those guys are very special. But it's fun, but it is work because you're an actor first.
Yeah.
Like, no one really wants to wake up. Like, they have, but there are certain people that have, but I mean, you are an actor before anything.
Yes.
That's why a lot of voice actors, you'll hear them do theater. A lot of them still do theater. They'll take acting classes. They'll put on acting classes. They'll take workshops. So you are an actor first, because when you're in the booth, you're not just going to stand there like this.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be moving around. You're going to be doing poses. You're going to get into it. You are acting out what you are
Getting
seeing.
into character.
Exactly.
So, do you feel that really helps you kind of fall into the role because you're moving with your body and not just speaking with your voice?
So when you watch, I don't mean to
Especially with
deviate.
hentai, how's that go?
We'll get into that a little bit later too.
That's another session.
So when you watch, think of this. Look at a talent show for high school kids. A lot of them are up there scared out of their minds.
Yeah.
So they're going to stand there really
Super
stiff. The really comfortable people that are up there on the mic are grabbing the mic. They're walking around. They're doing movements and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Comedians will do it all the time. That's how you can tell there's a good comedian.
Yeah,
they're
they move
moving
around the
around.
stage a lot.
Yeah, they have the mic. They'll set it down. They'll do movements. They'll
Yeah.
do that. They'll
Interact in
yeah.
some fashion.
And so it's a lot easier because you're not just gonna stand there just stiff as a board and just talk. You can, but if the scene requires movement, if you're watching it on the screen, you're gonna move. That's how you're gonna get into the character. Like, for example, I was watching someone record something for, and I'm gonna name drop. I was watching someone record something for My Hero Academia.
Ooh, can you specify which scene? We have a lot of BHA fans.
You
here.
probably can.
I will just say it was a power-up scene. It was probably one of the best power-up scenes I've seen.
Which season?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a season. It was the movie,
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Spicy.
and it was. I mean, I guess I can say the scene.
Mm.
It was. Have you guys seen the one where they go to the island?
Yes.
So when Deku and Bakugo are like powering up at the end,
Yes.
that scene, I watched both Justin Briner and Clifford Chapin do that in the booth, and they were standing exactly like this when they powered up. When they were doing, they were, because you get into character, you have
Okay,
to,
go
and so
You're like, yeah, bro.
because standing there, it's not
Yeah,
really,
it's not the same
yeah,
impact,
it's not the
yeah.
same. Standing there,
You don't get the same.
yeah,
energy.
you
don't get the
puff
same
your
energy
chest
of it,
out,
yeah.
you just flex, you're just ready to go.
I mean, I felt better as soon as I fixed my posture. So.
And so, yeah, I've seen like, and you know how people talk with their hands?
Yes.
Every single day, I when I was in the studio.
Oh my
I just saw
gosh.
that.
Okay. Speaking of talking with our hands, hey, do you remember that freaking episode in
Oh my
Snafu,
God, yes.
Mr. President, President,
and then you have
with his
the rap,
hands.
You have the rap battle.
The rap battle,
Hachiman
the rap
is
battle
also-
was
And I'm thinking to myself, Hachiman, please punch this dude in the face
But
because he's
instead he plays
pissing
him
me
at his
off.
own game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up doing this for the rest of the podcast.
Rap
now.
battles.
So if I just explain to you that this is how we speak, then this is how it's gonna
Oh
go.
my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's painful to even think.
but yes, you were saying about the
So
Being
people,
emotive with your
like,
hands, yeah.
you'll talk with your hands. Everyone talks with their hands in normal life.
Pretty
They'll
much,
talk
yeah.
with their hands, like I'm doing now.
Correct.
You emphasize something, you're always gonna go,
Yeah.
or come on,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, exactly. And so whenever I've seen people in the booth, I've done it. You'll sit there, and if you're trying to prove a point, if you're trying to move the conversation along, you'll go, yeah, let's keep going, guys. Come on. And so it's just the movement helps immensely because it helps you get into the character, it helps you experience. Like you'll get into that mindset of this is what I need to do, this is how the character needs to sound, this is what they're feeling, and it makes you that much better of an actor.
Yeah. You know what? There's an idea that popped into my head because in the beginning you were saying that one of the reasons why you got into it was because the voice actors give the characters life.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, right, when you're moving along with the characters in the scene, it's like you literally are bringing life
Yes.
to that character
Yeah.
because you're moving
Because
along
that's one
with
thing.
them. Yeah.
I could just sit here like this and speak into the mic.
Yeah.
And it's completely different if I speak into the mic like this
Yeah.
and gesture to you.
Or I look over at you, the audience.
Yeah.
Versus just speaking like this. There's going to be much more. Anyway.
Oh my
Nani?
goodness.
Fucking what?
Arara?
Machi.
Oro?
You
Okay.
missed it.
We're all voice actors now. Well, I should look at the camera like that.
See, that's
Ooh, we got
that's
the
a
big
good one.
sister coming in.
Yeah, that was a very good Onesan.
Oni-chan.
Y'all don't deserve this. I might have to cut this and put it in a bonus episode.
Dude, I can imagine, dude. All of the weebs, watching their favorite hentais, and then they see the cast, and then it's Will.
They're watching and they see the name. Ew, who is that?
That is who you just enjoy.
Oh my gosh, that's the one you just fapped to, guys. You're welcome.
I'm sorry, this is reality.
Oh man.
2D girls are not real as much as I wish they were.
Here's the sauce for you guys.
You want the
Buddy
sauce?
Will.
There's the sauce.
Here's the sauce right here.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I
Oh
fucking love it.
man. Okay, so one more question that I wanted to ask was,
Yeah.
if other people wanted to get into this industry, right? You personally, what are some of the things that you have come across yourself and you've observed from other people that are the most difficult things to kind of just get? Like some of the hardest skills to practice when you're trying to get good at playing a certain character.
Hardest skills.
How do you
Yeah,
get
like
into
you
character?
mentioned, right? He mentioned being able to the Dragon Ball C scream for
Yeah, how
9
painful
seconds,
that
right? So
was.
I'm assuming that's a very difficult skill to obtain.
And you
Like,
mentioned
things of that
earlier,
nature.
like identifying your own voice, even.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the standard answer. I mean, for skills, a lot of us come from backgrounds of theater. I was a choir kid. I never really did theater. I did a lot of choir, so my lungs were kind of small in the beginning when I was a kid. So I had to build them up. I had to build them up with choir and with breathing exercises and stuff like that. Breathing and being able to talk consistently without messing up and holding out a scream, just like I did.
Yep.
Monologues are probably some of the hardest because you'll sit there and you'll be reading and you'll sit there and blah, 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 blah. Oh, dang it, I messed up.
Bro,
Mm.
listen, just us here in this podcast, like every time we go back to re-listen to ourselves, we're like, wow, we fucked up there. We said a lot of uhs and ums there. There's lots
Yeah.
of lights there. So yeah,
I can imagine trying to do like a clean monologue must be difficult.
Preaching.
I
ooh,
have an experience. I have a lot of experiences. If you guys just want to straight up hear those, go for it.
Yeah,
But,
please.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was reading. I had just jumped in the booth because I wanted to just read parts for a show that we had talked about previously. If you can guess what
So
it
if
is.
you rewind the podcast, it's one of those.
One of them. One of them.
Only one though, not all of them, just one.
I wanted to read for different parts just to see, and there was an engineer that came in. Yeah, you can jump in and I'll make it so you can see how it sounds compared to the other people. I said, yeah, sure. I read a 4-page script and it included dialogue, action sounds, gasps. Getting back to the gasp question, you don't just go, because it sounds like you're sucking in air. That's
I
all it
was
sounds like.
inhaling when I
Well,
gasped.
yeah, but you go,
Huh?
you breathe out and then you breathe in.
we all just
Because
Jinx, you owe me a soda, damn
I
it.
don't know your shit.
because it makes it sound more real because no one's gonna sit there and just listen to someone go
Yeah, when you
I
point it out,
understand.
it sounds
Yeah, when you point it out.
artificial, yeah.
when you go
Daniel.
And now as you point that out, I do think back to gasps I've heard in like anime and cinema and stuff, and they do have that extra oomph to it. Yeah. It's
'Cause-
never just a clean
yeah because the mic can't pick that up.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're standing like
now
this,
I'm gonna sit here now. Hold on, this is at point 5238. So me at that point, tell me if you could hear it.
So there's that, and I apologize. You had asked something and I was in the middle of it, but I deviated. So can you want to go ahead and ask it again?
Oh, yeah. So I was wondering, what are some of the most difficult skills that you personally have come across
To
and then
cultivate?
also observed other people in the industry? Like, what's the most difficult skills that people tend to acquire a little bit later on as they become more seasoned?
Breathing is probably one of the number ones because you can run out of air really quick if you're just talking like this and you're constantly going with the dialogue, especially if you're talking fast like this.
But yeah, it's
very
much
hard.
like vocals and music and stuff.
It's-
If you don't
yeah.
know when to take your breaths or how to take your breaths, it becomes a skill in and of itself. I can see that.
There's some voice actors that are singers. They naturally
Actually-
sing and they've come from that background, so they are good at it because they know how to hold long
That's a very
breaths.
common theme that I notice.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when we were doing some of the background info for our characters,
Yeah.
Spy Family,
Yeah.
a lot of them come from the music industry as well. Like they've had studio albums published and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I actually remember, I haven't confirmed if it's the same person or just the same name, but there's a band I particularly enjoy called Tesseract, and one of the recent vocalists, Eric Emery, I saw for Life is Strange, which is a fairly popular
It's a game, yeah. Life is Strange, yeah.
had Eric Emery as one of the voices. So I was like, oh, so I could see that translated with music to voice acting.
For
so
sure.
That's really cool.
So, I mean, I come from a music background. There's
choir,
a couple people in, choir and vocal performance, and a couple people in the show. You just mentioned Spy X Family and the English dub come from a music background.
Yeah.
The dad on Spy X Family is a theater.
Lloyd Forger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lloyd, yeah.
The voice actor. He's a theater kid.
That's cool.
The daughter, she's a singer, also a theater kid. And so it's just voiceover is not something you think about. Oh, I'm going to get into. Like some people do, but then it's you have to have you don't
Overlapping
have to, but
skills.
overlapping skills. Like I know people that have come from radio that will do those long dialogues.
There you go, Kenny.
Radio DJs.
There you go.
I know people that have. There was. Go ahead,
you
sorry.
notice that pattern where if somebody comes in from a radio background, that they'll be really good at monologues?
I have noticed that it just kind of depends. I mean, yeah, most of the time they are. I've seen a couple people that have just straight up come from DJing in the next, like the building over from us, and they'll come over because they heard about an audition, and you'll sit there, and then they'll tell you where they're from, and I just heard you on the radio this morning.
Yeah, Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
No way.
He was a DJ, radio DJ.
I can see the DJ.
Yeah.
I can see the DJ.
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that voice actor, he was a radio DJ.
Can you name the voice actor?
I used to be able to name the voice actor. I have the
Casey
memory
Kasem.
of a goldfish. There you go.
Well, he named it for me, so just pretend I said it.
I can't do
See, there you go. Another example, right? Somebody who really
Knows
knows
their
his
shit.
craft, right?
Yeah.
He knows the players in
Yeah.
the industry.
And that's really what I love about our podcast is the fact that we dive so deep into this, and I love the fact that we bring in guests, and it's just so much he's added to this.
Yeah.
Will, you've added like super cool shit to this. I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure. So, if the NDA allows you, can you speak about some of your favorite roles, some of the characters that have really stuck with you?
I had a funny feeling this was coming up.
Here we go.
I mean, come on, man.
It's a given.
You know we're gonna ask you because
If he
I know.
wasn't, I was gonna. Robert
Okay. All right.
like me and Kenny were talking earlier, and one of the things that I told him is when I choose an anime that I put in my top spot, it's usually those characters that you can really empathize with, and so I can only imagine somebody who brings the life to those characters.
Yeah.
There's got to be one or two roles that are really just stuck with you.
Now, do you mean roles I've auditioned for or roles that I've done?
Any.
Anything that left an impression.
Yeah.
Roles I've auditioned for. Y'all are gonna flip out at this one.
Hype.
Attack on Titan.
Fuck yeah.
Falco.
No,
I auditioned for that one.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I didn't get it, but I'm glad
Just getting that opportunity.
Bryson
is
Bogus
super
got
cool.
it. Yeah, and it was incredible. And of course, I was up against the best of the best. There was no
Yeah,
way.
Attack on Titan is top tier. Right?
Yeah.
It's got all the top talent.
I
Did you
was
audition for Eren Yeager or Levi?
nah.
He's a Falco, you said?
Falco. Yeah.
Falco. Oh, okay.
So
okay.
a very prominent character in the recent season.
Okay.
I
Eren Yeager
was.
sucks anyway.
Sorry, Bryce. We love
Eren
you.
Yeager would not be able to carry Attack on Titan by himself. He needs Mikasa. He needs Armin. He
We're
needs
gonna have to
Levi.
have a whole episode on Attack on Titan.
He needs Erwin. He needs Hanji. Without those cast, Eren Yeager would fall
The
flat.
supporting cast is really impressive for Attack on Titan,
I have very strong opinions on Eren Yeager.
which we will address in another session.
I was in My Hero Academia season 4.
Super cool.
It was just like audience members yelling. That's all it was.
I mean,
It
you were
wasn't-
there. That's part of it. That's a
Yeah.
big deal.
That's still cool.
You know who wasn't there? All of us.
Yeah. We're living vicariously.
Exactly.
I was there in spirit.
In spirit.
We're vicariously enjoying this through you.
I was yelling on with the million every time.
I was trying to think of what I can say without getting in trouble. I auditioned for
Well, if it makes it
This
easier,
looks
maybe
spicy.
maybe you don't have to name the character. Maybe
It's
just
just the moment.
the
or-
moment. Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
of
Yeah, maybe relive that memory with us and our audience.
like fun times I had auditioning and stuff
Yeah,
like
what's
Like,
what's a
what was
moment that stood
Yeah,
out to you
that
in
stood
memory
out
as
to
like
you.
a really good moment?
I mean, the scream that I did was really cool, the 9-second scream. But it was really cool because I actually accomplished the goal. I said I'm going to get better than 8 seconds.
Yeah,
It hurt, but I just said I
you
did it.
Full send, yeah.
You know how I can imagine that? It's like, you know, in track where running a sub 540 40-yard dash is impressive, and then like the difference between 4.9 and 4.8 7 could
Yeah.
mean first and second.
Yeah.
That's how I
Same thing with like
imagine-
auto racing and stuff, like tenths and hundredth of a second.
Yeah,
is
that's how I
differentiates,
imagine how accomplished Will must have felt going from 8 seconds to 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
There's actually a funny story to follow this.
I love fun. Seriously.
I just hopped in, and it wasn't anything special. I had just hopped in to do some background noise for my hero. That's just called mouth
Please mute
noise.
your mic.
So I had hopped in to do some background noise, and I was just, no, just talking in the background, kind of making it seem inconspicuous. Someone came up and they smacked the booth window as hard as they could. And I'm talking, I jumped back and hit the back wall of the booth so hard I almost left a dent in the wall.
Oh my god.
Good thing those things are padded, right?
That's like
They are.
That's
Yeah,
like,
because it's a sound.
that's like gorilla in the zoo slap the glass moment. God damn.
I found out who it was. Let's just say we were running throughout the halls of Funimation. I was chasing him down.
It was a fanboy fangirl moment.
No.
Oh, you got yourself a
Oh,
groupie.
was it?
No, it was an actor.
Ah.
Somebody jealous
Another
of your skills?
actor on the show. I'm not going to name drop, but I will say one thing that might give you a hint. MC.
Master Chief,
Master Chief, man.
No.
Did he take off his helmet?
Master of Ceremonies.
MC stands for main character, but nice try.
I was gonna say,
I knew
Yeah,
that.
Robert.
I knew that. I totally knew that.
But I chased him down, and I started laughing at it after a little while. But in the middle of a recording session, you just hear this big,
yeah.
and so it scared me because I was in the zone, I was doing my thing,
yeah.
and all of a sudden just snapped me
Nice.
out of it. And what? Huh? Who? There was another one where I had to record for, it was like a mech anime. I can't remember the name of it.
Neo Genesis Evangelion.
Dude.
Will, were you born when it came out?
Actually, is Attack on Titan a mecha?
No, it's not.
I mean, if you think about it,
Wow.
If Neon Genesis is a mecha, and they're biological.
that's a good conversation. Like, if
Yeah.
you think about
Guys,
it,
I'm gonna create a
because
poll
when-
on this. Is Attack on Titan a mecha anime?
Because when the outward plating is taken off,
yeah,
the Avas are
biological.
flesh. Yeah, exactly.
And that's considered mecha.
That's a good point.
Bruh,
Wow.
bruh.
I'm setting up a poll on that shit. You better
Attack on
answer
Titan
that.
is the best mecha.
Oh shit.
I disagree, but okay.
I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm demanding you answer the polls.
No,
Oh my
The-
gosh.
They will decide.
All right.
You will be the
There's
deciding
only one
factor.
right answer.
And you will be that answer.
But I mean, there was a scene that I was doing, and because it's just you in the booth, rarely will they have like in-person Walla anymore.
Mm.
But it was just me, and I was hearing the other person had recorded already, and I went to say my lines, and my character is supposed to be very suave and very smooth, and I mean, as you can tell, I'm somewhat not.
I don't know, man. Your voice
You're
is
pretty
very
smooth,
soothing.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
Damn, Kool-Aid man.
And so what I did was I remember, because I was just ecstatic to just get the role, and I was recording, and I had moved the mic a little bit because we'll have like just like stools in there to sit on, and have a table with our water or whatever in there. And I had moved the mic. I said, "Hey, can I move the mic?" Normally you don't move the mic because the engineers will yell at you.
They
and
set
you
it up
will,
for a reason.
Yeah. I asked the engineer, "Hey, are you okay if I move the mic? Unless you want to come in and move it for me. I had something I wanted to try." "Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm glad you asked." "Oh, yeah, of course." They moved it over to by the wall, the booth wall. And I recorded, and again, going back to the actor thing where you move around a lot.
Yes.
A lot of the times when at least for me, when I want to be suave or, debonair, whatever, I'll lean against something.
Oh, dude, that's like the Matthew McConaughey.
That's smart.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't do Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey, but I could do a little bit of
Smart.
Southern twang.
All right.
All right, all right, all right. Maybe I speak out the side of my mouth. a little bit.
Mine would just sound like Matthew McConaughey and Helium. All right, all right, all right.
All
fun
right,
fact,
now.
that was I'm pretty sure that was Matthew McConaughey's first role ever.
Basic Fuse?
Yes,
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, because he was an add-on. He was an add-on to that. He wasn't like part of the main cast. He was like he played like the bad boy character who got left who had to repeat a few grades, and he was still in high school.
Yeah.
He was like, it wasn't the line, something along the lines
I haven't
of
seen
I
this in
get
like 20
older, but
years.
these high school girls stay
Yes.
the same age, something like that. Because
I say that about anime.
he's gotten left back so many times that he's legally an adult, and then he's hitting on these like freshman girls in
15,
high
16-year-old
school.
girls.
Sorry, tangent, but I'm a fan of Matthew McConaughey, so.
And so I just leaned against the wall and I did my thing, and the look on the engineer's face just said, I have never had anybody actually ask to move the mic and use it to their advantage like that. It's usually just for positioning, or if they're sitting on a stool and they're really tall. Like,
Some normie shit.
Someone will come in 6'4". The mic is down because the person that came in was 5'1". They'll have to go lean over. So the engineer will move the mic up because they're tall.
Yeah.
You're not going to speak down here. And so I just used it. I said, I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, I'll just record like normal. If it does, then I'll use it. And it worked. And that's, again, being an actor, you use what you have, you use it to your advantage. You make use of everything in the area.
That actually brings on a question for me. So just going through like the stories, telling us how you like to put yourself in a position of how that character would be. Some actors take it to the extreme. And
Yeah, the method actors.
yeah. Like Heath Ledger.
Like Heath Ledger,
and, people
Yeah.
like Jared Leto, people like that. Would you say that you've ever been in a position such as that, to where like you were, you felt like you were somewhat stuck in that character?
Like you were changing. Like
you were changing as a
Affecting
person.
your own personality.
Yeah.
Not really, because when I step out of the booth, I know that I am, me, and for acting, you'll have makeup, you'll have like hair, you'll have different types of artistry to get you dressed up for the character. Yeah. For voiceover, you can just do it in your pajamas.
I would wear a Charizard keyboard. And I would make every character into a tsundere.
because no one will see you. They'll only hear you. No one sees you on camera.
And comfort is key.
Exactly. You're not going to go in and... I have seen people go in and record in suits and ties because they got back from like awards galas or something. I've seen people in just their pajamas. They wake up, they brush their teeth, go in and record. A lot of the times when we were doing it at home, that's what you had to do because you were recording from home during all this pandemic stuff. There was one of the guys on the My Hero Academia crew came in. He said he came in flip-flops, track shorts, and a tank top because he just got done working out.
Wow, dedication.
And came in, did his session. See you guys. I'm gonna go back to work out.
he did an intro workout voice over.
He did his warm-up
for
voiceover
an
workout.
episode. That's legit, man.
The sad part is his character, very stoic, very tired all the time.
I think.
I'd be tired
Oh
after a
my
while
gosh!
too.
I think Will just gave us a hint of exactly who the character is. Very stoic, very tired all the time.
And so, and it's just, you record where you can, when you can, especially, now they're letting people back in, but when I would go back there, I would kind of go back there a lot to like Texas and Los Angeles, and because they would fly me out there, and that was a lot of traveling. And sometimes I would wake up and I'd go into the studio and just be exhausted and forget to comb my hair or something like that, and I just go in and record, and then it's kind of like I'm kind of stuck there for the day, and I would sleep in the break room, sleep in someone's office because I'm just tired.
This is like the life of a true artist.
The starving artist
catch,
of
you
just
catch some sleep wherever you can.
Dude, it's like that because it's those hours when you're most tired is when I find myself to be most creative. I'm like, oh, it's 2 a.m. and I should be sleeping, but I have 8 million ideas. I have to do them now.
Because inspiration doesn't strike often, and when it does, you can't just let it go.
Yeah.
Strike
So-
when the iron's hot, or else it's gonna get cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Phoenix. It's always hot here.
That's fair. That's fair.
What are some roles that you may have missed out on, or characters from your favorite shows that you wish you would have had an opportunity to play, and why?
Characters that people are already voicing that I missed out on,
Yeah,
like that I.
Yeah, but somebody else got the
Or
role.
just like
Or just
people
like-
that you
yeah,
would like
characters
roles that you would like to try out or play.
Yeah.
Open indie.
This is for all the Genshin Impact
Oh, here
fanboys
we
and
go.
fangirls.
All right, this is like 90% of you. So listen close.
I would have liked to get the call for Aether. Zach Aguilar's fantastic. He does an amazing job. I would have loved to get the call for Aether, though. That would have been an amazing thing on my resume. Anything really in My Hero that's not a background character, I would have loved to get a call for that. But you know what? I'm happy with what I have. I'm not.
Yeah,
You know,
one
like-
step at a time.
And I look at the people that get the roles, and I say they deserve that.
That's great too.
They are made for that. They embody the character, what we think it sounds like, and then they bring that to life. And it's just, yeah, they needed that role.
That actually brings up another question for me. So it seems like the community's pretty tight knit. What would you say? Like, how have you enjoyed being within that voice acting community? Is it like a really supportive network?
Oh yeah, I mean, all over social media, just in person, everyone looks out for each other. It's just right now there's someone that has a disease. I think it's cancer of some sort. I don't remember. Everyone has crowded around him. They've posted on social media and to help donate, to help just keep his spirits up. And everybody, if anyone ever has a problem, a lot of people are always there to comment. Yeah, you get the people that don't really know you, but it's just nice to have this.
Yeah, it sounded like when you were saying like, "Oh, I didn't get the role, but the person who did deserved it." It sounds like there's a really good positive connotation where there's not that negative competition where it's like, "Yo, they got the role over me. Fuck that guy." It's more of a, "Yo, that's awesome. Good job. You got the role."
No spite.
Yeah, there's no spite. It's like a genuine, like, people are proud of each other. I think that's super cool. I love it.
With the acting community, I mean, there's no, of course you're an actor first, but yeah, there's going to be that competition. I've noticed with voiceover, no one is going to be upset or want to hurt you because you took a role away from them. Again, it's like you could be the juiciest peach in the bunch. Some people just don't want peaches. Some people want an apple. Some people want a pear. And so you can't fault them for giving the director what they want.
Right.
And so, yeah, I've lost out roles. I've lost out to people that I idolize. And I look back on it and say, you know what? That was made for them. It wasn't made for me. That's okay. Again, you can't go through life just being down on yourself all the time. Oh, I suck. No. You just, the old saying, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, move on.
Yeah.
And it's hard for a lot of people to understand that because when you're first breaking into the business, it's just, there's a
lot
terrible
of competition. It's heavily saturated. It's real easy to look back and make it on you rather than just.
Especially now here in the West, since anime is a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
So I can imagine there's an influx of people coming in from all different avenues.
Yeah, and especially with the people who don't know any better, they're like, "Oh, they're just talking in a mic. It's easy. I can
No,
do
they're
that."
not.
That's,
Dude, it's like when anybody says, "Oh, I heard they got a podcast. I can do that."
Yeah, I know. Like, and then you actually do it. You're like, "This is not as easy as I thought it was. Holy shit!" We do have quite a guest list already for this podcast. You guys are going to be. I mean, we already have this awesome guest. Wait till we get more awesome guests.
Someone once said that voice acting is the second hardest industry to get into. The first is modeling.
Ooh.
I can imagine modeling. I had a gal,
Especially with Instagram.
back in college. She was Polish and Filipina. So this girl was definitely not the type of personality that you come across every so often. She had that very statuesque like physique. And when I met her, I was like, you've got to do some modeling because there's no way that because she was in the nursing program, right? So I'm like, you've got to be doing some modeling on the side. And she said, I actually did try out for modeling. And despite how attractive she was, she said they wouldn't take me because I wasn't tall enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you get into like commercial modeling, their specifications are absurd.
Yeah.
But
Because she was like 5'6". I was like, you've got to do some kind of modeling.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
But
I was too
even-
short. I was like,
even from my perspective as a photographer, I found that modeling is a lot more than just being pretty. Knowing to move when you hear the camera shutter click and slightly adjust, knowing where the lighting is. Like models basically know what photography is, like the great ones.
So I did learn, getting into photography did teach me a lot about modeling, and it's a lot harder. So besides the saturation of like, oh, I'm pretty, I'm just going to be a model. Oh, I'm on Instagram, I am a model. Like the reality of it is a lot more difficult, and I can see the same thing for like voice acting and some of these other industries where it's like superficially from the outside, it seems straightforward and simple.
Yeah.
But then when you get into it and you start learning about it and the in-depth process and the production of it, you're like, whoa, it takes, you have to do what?
Yeah, I can see how that is because, you know, like Will was talking to alluding to in the beginning, you have to give these characters life.
Yes, it's not just speaking off the script.
And the characters that resonate the most with people, that stick with us, that we remember from our childhoods all the way up until today, are those people that communicate, like we were saying earlier, they communicate the human condition well. You empathize with them, right? They hit you right in the feels, which is why they stick to you.
Yeah.
So going back to the modeling question, I was taught actually by my aunt. Saying you're a model just because you take really good pictures, or saying you're an actor just because you can speak well into a microphone, is like saying you're a race car driver just because you drive really fast on the freeway.
Listen, I know some of you are car motherfuckers. Street racing ain't cool, and it doesn't make you a race car driver.
Oh my god!
Straight up tell you that.
I had a client that he's like a drag racer.
I mean, drag racing is legitimate, like on the track. That does take specific builds on the engine, specific setups for the car, specific timing for your shifts. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. But street racing, nah, bro, fuck that shit.
You're not a Fast and Furious fan?
That's a movie. I'm talking about real life. Where
There's
you're
production that goes
He's not
into
a fan
that.
of family, bro.
Listen, that family. Yeah, I guess not.
Unless it's Spy Family, damn it.
Yeah, if your family ain't spying, I don't give a shit.
Oh, bro. So, Will, who are some of the people within the industry that you really look up to the most and idolize, and you think that a lot more people who are maybe newer to the scene, who want to break into it, maybe they should look into their work because their talents is maybe something to be emulated?
I love this question because I have so many people that I idolize. If you can pick out the figure on the table that I'm thinking of, person that voices,
I just guessed Toga. It's in the middle.
what do you guys think?
I was thinking
I'm thinking Ayanami, but I'm biased.
Rob got it right.
Saitama?
Toga.
No, I said Toga.
Oh, Toga.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this voice actress name is Leah Clark. She is so talented. She can do the Toga voice. She can do
That yandere aesthetic.
yeah.
Toga's
She can
great.
do the yandere aesthetic. She can do like very tsundere, very like I don't like you. She can do pretty much anything, and not many people know about her. I mean, people do because
People know more about the character, I think, than the
Yeah.
voice actors,
so yeah,
This is
they'll see
precisely why
Toga.
you want to do the podcast,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Because
to explore
like you
behind
said, not a
the scenes.
lot of people know about her, but from your point of view, being in an industry, like you know exactly how talented she is.
Yeah.
trying to give prop to the actual person.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And because again, they bring that character to life. That character would not have a voice or a personality without them. Another one has been in the industry for over 20 years. Her name is Monica Rial. She does Bulma in Dragon Ball Super.
Wow. Okay.
She is probably one of the most prolific voice actors. If you look her up, you will see she has been in everything.
What are some characters that some of our audience may be familiar with? Like whatever. Obviously, Bulma is a very recognizable.
Yeah,
character.
some of the other
What,
mainstream
what
roles.
are other standout roles?
Bulma, Mira Jane Strauss from Fairy Tale.
Wow, Mary
Yeah.
Jane. Okay,
That's a big one.
Yeah, people
Suyu
like Mira Jane.
Asui from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Um,
I'm a big fan of Suyu, especially I've
I
seen.
think
some,
most people are.
I've seen some of the character models that they have of her, like as an adult, and I was like, dude, waifu.
another good one, if we're going over to the guys' side. I mean, everyone knows Bryce Papenbrook. He was popular in the 2000s. He still
I
is
think he's
popular.
going to be here, what, next weekend? Or when is anime,
it's
the anime
one of the-
convention?
yeah, there's one of
Yep.
the. There's I think there's 1-2 weeks from today. In middle.
I can't remember when.
It's
I
next
think
week.
Next
next
week.
week,
Okay,
yeah.
next
Yep.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bryce Papenbrook, he's fantastic. He's done Aaron. He's done
Yeah.
Seven Deadly Sins.
Which
Meliodas.
Yes.
Meliodas. Okay,
Is he Inosuke in
Yes.
dude, that's
He's got some. Yeah, he's a heavy hitter.
He's got range.
Yeah,
that man has
That's
a range.
Inosuke. I was like,
yeah, from Inosuke, Aaron, who's either pouty or shouty. Inosuke, who's just
Aaron,
chaos.
it's a flip, right?
Yeah, Aaron's a flip.
Aaron was a very aggressive, boisterous, and reckless character in the
Yeah.
beginning, and then
And then he was that
Flip.
sedated.
yeah,
What's the word I'm looking for? Something to do.
Yeah, I think I watched like one dubbed episode of Demon Slayer, and I was like, Aaron.
Another one that y'all are probably gonna hate on, Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Oh, Kirito.
Okay, there's a
Hey,
difference
look,
between hating
yeah.
on the actor and hating on
Well, hating on the
series.
You just
show,
don't
like,
like the show.
we
Yeah.
love Bryce. We love Bryce.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
amazing. He actually helped me with getting some stuff set up. Just we talked about it and helped me getting some stuff set up for recording.
Mhm.
Kind of told me like what I needed, what I didn't need, foam and stuff like that.
Okay.
Here's a mainstay, Chris Sabat,
Yeah, I mean, we all
the
know
voice of Vegeta,
Yeah.
the voice of All Might.
Sabbath, it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, you say
he-
Sabbath, people are like, Vegeta?
Yeah.
Vegeta?
Yeah, that's I have a ton more, but I mean the most prolific ones. And yeah, people are gonna say, "Oh, everyone knows those," but that's why
That's
everyone
the
knows
point,
them.
yeah.
They are
That's the
they are
point.
some of the best of the best, and I'm not saying that the others aren't. Like Elizabeth Maxwell, she's the voice of Midnight in My Hero Academia. She's amazing. You just have so many you can list off.
See, I know the old school ones like Steve Bloom and
Steve Bloom, yes.
Colleen Clickenbeard is one that comes to mind. So that was
Travis
more
Willingham
mid 2000s.
for,
Travis Willingham.
Roy
Laura
Mustang.
Bailey.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say yeah.
Roy-
now I'm starting to get a critical role. We're back to D&D.
Roy Mustang.
Matthew
Roy
Mercer
Mustang.
too. Matthew Mercer's great.
Matthew Mercer, he's very prolific. Actor.
He is. He's got a ring.
Dude, I'm so jealous. I mean, this is tangent, but D&D, I'm looking. How does he go from one voice to the next and do all that? Like, I'm doing D&D. I'm just like,
What was this fucker's voice again? What did he sound like? What was his voice?
and Matt Mercer's just like this guy. Totally different sounds.
I'm
just
guessing
like,
it's a
yeah.
lot of prep.
Yeah.
I
Skills,
mean,
dude,
even
it's
beyond
like-
prep, it's skill.
You do enough of these characters, you're just able to pull them out of your hat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I actually want to take some voice acting classes to improve the D&D session for you guys. But,
Back on topic,
Yeah.
wrapping things up. Been really great hearing all this. Like, the industry is a lot more complicated and interesting than a lot of people surmised. And so exploring this with you has been mind-opening and really fun.
Yeah, yeah. Like you've, I think, providing us even just a small insight into the kind of work that it takes for you to bring life to these characters, and for them to resonate with a Western audience
Mhm.
that listen to the dub. Because I know there's a lot of people that are like
Sub
sub
versus
only,
dub.
damn it.
yeah, sub versus dub.
All right,
That'll be
but,
another
There's a lot of good dubs out there, guys.
There are. There really are.
A lot of
But there
And people don't
obviously
give 'em a
would not
chance.
be a market here in the West
If it
for
wasn't
anime
for-
if
like
it wasn't
what-
for the
Yeah.
dub, right? So, like, giving us some insight into that, we certainly appreciate it. One more question for us to round this off here, and this is one that I really like to ask because I think it's something that resonates with a lot of us. Is
Okay.
that what's one memory in anime that you have that really stuck and resonated with you?
So it could be anything.
That
anime
really
related.
pulled you in to the culture, to the medium.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
We're gonna get
okay.
deep here. We're gonna get
Go
deep a little
deep.
bit.
Go
This is
deeper. Go
This is the
deeper.
kind of stuff that we like.
Here's the thing. We're gonna get deep and we're gonna a little bit emotional.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I was watching Fairy Tale.
Okay.
And I was at a really low point in my life. Some stuff had happened. I had some health problems, and I was just sitting at home watching Fairy Tale. I was just miserable. And I remember there was a scene like Urza talking to Lucy, and essentially what she said was, "You can't give up on the people you love." Like
Mm.
that's the gist of it. And I just remember watching that and then playing it back because I was just miserable to the point of just not wanting to get out of bed. And hearing that, just essentially not, you can't give up on the people you love because there are people out there that love you.
Absolutely.
This is the part where I'm gonna get emotional.
I'm about to be there with you. Man.
It kind of hit me because going back to, if someone can give that character that much emotion, if someone can give that character that much, if it essentially just hits you in the feels that hard, the possibilities are limitless. You have so much potential, you have so much to give, and people see that. So that's what that told me, was don't give up on yourself.
That's great.
And it's been hard. Yeah, everyone's going to lose out on a role. Everyone's going to get frustrated. Life is hard. But for me, I just realized that when I'm at my lowest points, there are people that love you, there are people that care, and there are people that you can talk to. So just don't give up on yourself. Yeah, life is going to be hard and it's going to be very challenging. As long as you don't give up on yourself, there are going to be people around there that are going to support you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's actually a really good memory.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us have watched anime and connected to characters that share that same sentiment.
Precisely.
Brought us in there. And they're like, you know what? Maybe it is okay to be aware. Maybe I do have people that support me.
Yeah.
And really exploring that's really,
Yeah.
really impressive.
Yeah, there's a memory like that for every single person I know who's in this medium.
I'm sure watching this, a lot of you weeps are like, I could think of a scene right now that I was in a moment. I was in a dark
look at
place.
that, right?
And I latched on.
Somebody just watching a show, right? They were like, you were in a place where you maybe necessarily didn't want to be in, and just somebody who was speaking through you through that medium was able to kind of pull you out of it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's precisely why we love the medium.
Yeah.
Right. And that's precisely why we wanted to give you guys a little bit more of a background to the people that are behind the scenes, because they're the ones that, like you said, Will, they're the ones that give the characters to life.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that allow us to resonate with them.
They help
in
us.
that way.
They are the medium that connects us between this two-dimensional character and us in the 3D world. They are that bridge. So looking behind the scenes and learning about that, finding that passion, and it makes you bring the question, like, where did they bring that out from? What have they experienced that they're trying to share with the audience?
Yeah, I really like what you said right there too. You said,
If you guys just scroll back about a minute in the slider, you'll find what he
you
said.
said if somebody can give this much passion, essentially to an animated character, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
That really.
Real quick, there's another. This one kind of goes along with just having people around you. There's another scene where they're on an island and they're about to be destroyed by a dragon.
Yep, I remember that. Yes.
And they all hold hands and they're like, "We're going home."
Fairy tale again?
Yeah, it's fairy tale.
Is this around the time they met?
It's like Tenro Island.
It met with what's his name? Starts with a Z.
Zangief.
Yes.
Not Zangief.
Not
No.
Zangief. That's Street Fighter.
You almost said Zangief was not.
No, not Zangief. I'm sorry.
Zangief was in Hunter x Hunter though.
Oh, he was. That's funny as hell.
I don't remember the name, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about.
know. I know the scene. I know the session.
It just kind of showed me that family does not have to be blood related.
No, that's a really good one.
Because
100%.
there are times where I love my family to death. I love my family to death, my immediate family. There are times I just can't go to them with certain things. I'll call my best friends, or I'll call other friends and, hey,
Yes,
can
sir.
I talk? We go out and grab some food, and I just need to talk to you. Because a lot of them that are in the guild left their families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all they have are essentially their other family. That's really all I can say. So you're gonna find a family somewhere.
Yes.
And whether it be work, whether it be school, whether it be just friends, there is someone out there that cares and will help you through whatever you're going through.
Which really emphasizes the point of letting yourself be there. Because it's really easy to withdraw and not go to those point people, not become like, oh, I can't go to them, they're not my family. You can create your own family. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing locked in. So I think that's a really good message and a real good share. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And I think we could not have ended it on a better note. Thanks, Will, for giving us some of your time.
Thank you
And
guys.
for giving our
A
audience
lot of your insight.
a lot of insight.
We hope to see you
industry.
back one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
for
be
sure, man.
happy to be back.
Absolutely.
sure.
Happy to
And
come
we
back.
want to thank you, like always, for spending some of your time with us, whether you're listening to us on the podcast or watching us on YouTube. We know that time is your most valuable commodity, and we certainly appreciate that you spend a little of that with us.
Makes my heart go doki doki.
Literature Club.
Oh no, it goes in the better path than that. A much better path than that.
Like always, you can find me on Instagram at agent_JSC8SCHROTH. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir Kennethy. That's Sir space KENNETH. Why?
Is there a space? Because Instagram doesn't allow spaces in the handles. And when I look at your page, I don't remember seeing a space. Man.
Underscore?
I
It's either a
no,
period or an underscore.
no, I don't think it's an underscore. I think it's just a space. I'm pretty sure.
There's no space.
Hold on, he has to look up his own Instagram handle. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
my Instagram is Cars and Cosplay with underscores in place of the spaces that I was not permitted to use. You could also
where can they find you, sir?
They can find me at Will Shupe92, WILLSHUPE92.
also seen in the pop-up that I will put on the screen
Yes. Our
over
overlays.
there.
So did you find your spelling?
There is no space.
There
we
is
go.
no space other than not in this
Live
atmosphere.
fact
It's just one word, Sir Kenneth.
So I will
Also-
have that on the screen as well.
All right. Until next time, guys. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we will see you on the next session. Bye.
Weeb out,
Weeb
Weebles.
out.